everybody, it is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Welcome to your reading today. Today the reading is called, Is This Person a Ghoster? And for those of you that are talking to someone or you're getting to know someone and you're wondering, hey, before I invest all this time and energy into this, getting to know one another, is this person the type to ghost someone? If they're unhappy or just for whatever reason, are they the type to go ahead and do that? Okay, so we have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile number 1 is represented by the carrot. Pile number 2 is represented by the pear. And pile number 3 is represented by the strawberry. So take a deep breath, close your eyes, relax into the moment. Decide what pile is calling your name, okay? And if you've got more than one person, you can definitely watch more than one pile. That is for sure. And we will go ahead and start with pile number 1. Okay. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the carrot, and today's reading is called, Are They the Type of Person to Ghost Someone in a Relationship? Okay, so if you're just talking to someone or you're getting to know someone and you're like, I want to know, before I put my time and effort into this situation, are they the type to turn around and ghost someone for no reason or whatever reason, okay? So let's go ahead and see for pile number 1. Spirit, can you tell us about, is this person, are they a ghoster? Are they a ghosting type of a person, please? Okay. We've got the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. I mean, yeah, you guys really do value your time and your energy and your effort, and that is very annoying when people just ghost and you've invested something into it and then you don't ever hear from again. It's very irritating, and I do feel like you guys, you take yourselves and your time and your schedule seriously with the Queen of Pentacles, and you don't like people necessarily changing up like that. We have the Page of Swords. Oh, there you are, the Queen of Pentacles, okay? And we have the Knight of Cups, okay? And we have Epiphany and Breakthrough coming through on that Page of Swords. We have Trine and Flow, something that harmonizes, enriches, and benefits and energizes communication, okay? And we have Still Pining. All right, under this Queen of Pentacles, we have Seduced under the Knight of Cups. We have Athlete, okay? Dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower, and strength of spirit, okay? So that's great. We have the shadow attributes can be a misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends, a false sense of invulnerability, and entitlement. Okay, so let's go ahead. We have Mercury, Neptune. That is, that's a tough one, because that's where people are not being very clear in communication, or communication becomes distorted at times, okay? And we have Capricorn and I use, okay? And I feel like, you guys are not the type that likes people coming up with excuses for wasting your time, for being late, for not being honest. I mean, most people do not like that anyway, pile number 1. But I feel like you guys in particular, you have a real strict, you're like, don't waste my time. I'm a good person. I'm a decent person. But if you waste my time, that's it. Okay. And let's see what else we have here. We have the Magician. We have the Page of Wands. we have the Seven of Swords, and we have the Six of Swords. Okay, now what I think is, I feel like you guys were thinking that perhaps this person, you know, is, because the Page of Swords can be a little slippery, you know what I mean? Can be a little bit all over the place. But I do like the Page of Swords, in fact, because the Page of Swords does mean that somebody who is communicating and talking and communicating, okay? And so I do like that aspect of the Page of Swords, somebody who's interested, asking questions, someone who, you know, has a lot of curiosity about a person or about a situation. But I feel like this person has a breakthrough when it comes to you, and they realize that they really do have feelings for you, okay? And I feel like just when you think things are kind of maybe not going to work out or going astray or not really going to be good, this person kind of pulls it together with the Six of Swords and the Knight of Cups here. They kind of pull it together, okay? And, you know, there are those very seductive, I do feel like you have seduced this person, or you will be at the point where, you know, you're seducing this person and the feelings grow, okay? At first, it may feel like you're waiting to hear from this person, or you're hearing from them sporadically, all right? Pile number one, and maybe you bring it up to this person and you tell them, look, hey, I don't really, I need, this is what I need. I don't like that energy when somebody isn't being sincere and they're not really being straightforward, okay? But I do feel like this person is interested in you, and I do feel like they have an epiphany here about a breakthrough, about the communication with you, that you don't really like vagueness. You don't really like people who make false promises. Like, you're a realist. Pile number one, I feel you guys are realists. And so, you know, especially with the Capricorn energy, for those of you that have Capricorn in your chart, the Queen of Pentacles in the Tarot does represent Capricorn. So communication is important. We could have Capricorn, Aquarius energy here, but this person starts to understand that you're a person that would much rather, instead of somebody just kind of glossing over things, or, you know, not really saying the truth or saying how they feel or whatever, you are much more, you do a lot better when people are just straight up honest with you and don't waste your time. Most of us, I mean, what a revelation, right? Most of us do that, okay? And I do feel that there, with this epiphany and breakthrough, I do feel like this person understands, like, oh, pile number one likes this better. Now, you know, sometimes with Mercury, Neptune, there could be somebody who is lying about something because they're insecure about something, okay? But I feel like what you're saying to this person is, you've got nothing to be insecure about. I really do like you. You don't have to make up stories to be more impressive towards me or lie about anything. Like, I'd just rather have it if you were straight up real with me, okay? And, you know, somebody here could be athletic, because we have the athlete coming up here, and someone who is dedicated to transcending physical limits and the development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. And I think that's very much Knight of Cups, okay? And you know, with the Magician and the Page of Wands too, I feel like you can be more in control of this, pile number one, if you'd like to be, okay? instead of waiting and wondering, I feel you can actually step up in this situation and take more control of it, and be more active in saying, oh, this is how I like to be communicated with. This is what I want, okay? Instead of hanging back and waiting for this person to say something or do something, all right? And the Knight of Cups is very romantic. I feel like there is some hiccups in the communication with the Seven of Swords here, but I feel like with the Six of Swords, this person kind of, they close any gaps in your understanding, or they close the gap and they kind of wrangle you back in, so to speak. Pile number one, they sort of wrangle you back in. And athletes are people, they don't give up easily. The Page of Wands can definitely be an athlete. Okay, so could the Magician. But people who don't give up easily on things, and people who show a lot of heart in what they're doing. Okay, and it's not like this person, I feel like this person in the past, because these are showing to the left of this person, so I feel like in the past maybe they did lie about something, because it could have been about their job or their money or their financial stability. They could have told some white lies about that because they were feeling insecure about something, okay? And I feel like, you were waiting to figure out what was going on with this person, and maybe you have been in a pattern of waiting, because we have this still pining on the Queen of Pentacles here. But I actually feel like this person turns things around with you and starts to move things forward, okay, with you. And your thing is, pile number one, is that when you become really interested and invested in someone, you tend to hang on and you tend to hold on to that feeling, to that person, and you put a lot of energy into the things that you care about. And I feel like this person has this realization about you, and realizes that there is a lot of compatibility with this trine and flow here. And they might have gotten the feeling that you didn't like them, or that they were not what you were looking for, okay? But they have an epiphany, and they're like, okay, I get it now. I understand. And they see what you're all about, okay? They see what you are all about, and it makes them, I feel like with this Knight of Cups, it makes them like you even more, and it makes them want to kind of progress in the situation. So I do think with this Seven of Swords, there is a misunderstanding or a hiccup that happens in the communication. And both of you are wondering, should I say something? Should I do something? Both of you are kind of wondering what to do here, okay? But I feel like they are the ones that end up setting the record straight, okay? And I do feel like this person likes your sense of humor. They think that you're very clever and fun, but I also feel like you guys are, at this point, you're manifesting a bold new beginning in your life right now, pile number one. And if somebody isn't going to be honest and have integrity with the way that they're dealing with you, you're gonna move on or go out with someone else, okay? If a person isn't being straight up and honest with you, you may ghost them. You may be the one with the Magician here. I feel like this Magician is you. You may be the one that decides, yeah, I don't play that way anymore, okay? And maybe when you were younger, you thought, oh, is it me? Is it my fault? Did I do something wrong? Maybe when you were younger, you had that attitude, and now you know, I didn't do anything wrong. Fuck that. I didn't do anything wrong. You're getting a lot better at picking up on the cues and picking up on the what's happening in a situation. And I feel, pile number one, you've gotten very good at understanding when people are bullshitting you and not telling the truth. Okay? And even for those of you that have kids or younger friends or younger people in your life that you're around, you're even good at telling when they're bullshitting you these days. Okay? And you're really good at knowing when people are lying about things. And it's funny because I feel like maybe when you were younger, maybe you would bullshit or lie about things. I'm getting the energy of somebody who would like try to get out of gym class or try to get out of gym class by saying, like, because they didn't want to sweat or they didn't want to whatever, they would try to get out of gym class by saying they were hurt or saying that they couldn't participate or whatever, you know, because they didn't want to or they didn't feel like it. All right. So maybe you have a kid like that, pile number one. Maybe you were a kid like that. But a lot of times people learn to be clever like that and try to get out of things by making up excuses like that. Okay. And I feel like you guys are actually quite keen on picking up when people are not being completely 100% honest with you. You're like, oh no, I can tell when somebody isn't telling me the truth, Natalie. I can tell. It's actually easy for me to tell. And for those of you that have kids, I feel sorry for them in a way, because yeah, they're not really going to get away with much. And I also feel like you guys can be, you're not as maybe as naive as you were in the past, and you can be a little tricky yourself too when you're not feeling someone, pile number one, okay? But I also feel like you're like, well, geez, you know, even though I'm acting like I don't care and I'm mad, I actually do kind of like this person. I am kind of into them, and I do kind of wonder what's going on here, and I'm wondering if I should say something or will they say something. There's an awkwardness with the Seven of Swords, but I actually feel like this person gets a hold of the situation and gets control of the situation and puts everything on the right path again, okay? Especially with this Knight of Cups. And perhaps some of you were athletes when you were in school. Maybe you were, you know, gymnasts, or you were like some type of, you know, training for something, or some type of athlete. I mean, very sexy body we've got going on here. Training for something, training for a half marathon, training for, you know, something. And really strong, sexy legs for those of you that are dancers, or you used to be extremely athletic, okay? And then somebody else who would try to get out of, you know, having to do athletic things because they didn't feel like it or they didn't want to, and they would make up excuses for why they couldn't do whatever. Okay, so maybe some of you here were very athletic growing up, but you have a child who makes up excuses to get out of working out, you know, this type of thing. But anyway, pile number one, I feel like you guys are, you know, you're still pining. There still is, you're still wondering and curious about this person and if they were telling the truth or not, okay? And this person definitely having an epiphany about you and wanting to wrangle the conversation and get things going smoothly on the right path again, pile number one, okay? So that is what I am seeing. If they did say something that you found kind of weird, or you didn't really believe them, or you thought it was bullshit and you need to look into it more, I totally get it. But I do feel like this person turns things around and the communication becomes better. So I'm not getting like a ghosting vibe. It's maybe more of a like embellishing the truth vibe a little bit. Okay, pile number one. That is what I am getting for you, my loves. I hope that that reading resonated and brought you a sense of peace about what's going on in this situation. For those of you that would like to delve deeper, you can always book a personal reading with me. And let's move on to pile number 2. Okay. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. You chose the Pear, and today's reading is called, is this person a ghosting type of a person? Okay, and maybe you started to talk to someone, or you're hot to trot over somebody, pile number 2, and you're wondering, you know, I don't really want to put all this effort and energy into something if all they're going to do is turn around and be a player or ghost me or whatever. Okay, so I understand that, pile number 2, and we are going to go ahead and find out, is this person the type to ghost? Is this person the type to just ghost someone and with like no explanation? Is this person the type to ghost with no explanation? Okay. 8 of Swords on the bottom of the deck there. That's interesting. That came up in the last reading I did. Okay. And you know, the thing about ghosting is that it's fucking confusing, isn't it? Pile number 2. Like with the 8 of Swords is representing a lot of confusion. It's like, why? You know, why not just be straight up, right? So, I mean, and ghosting can also, and the 5 of Cups is underneath there. So I feel you guys have been ghosted before, and I see the Star card here, and I see the King of Wands. So, you know, that we could have Leo and Aquarius energy, but this talks about really connecting with someone on a date. These two are looking up at the stars like, oh wow, isn't that gorgeous? Like a really romantic, sexy, interesting, like date, and then not hearing shit after that. So I get it. You guys have, I feel you guys have been ghosted before, and you're like, yeah, it sucks, Natalie. It really sucks. So let's go ahead and find out what is going on here. Yeah, the 5 of Pentacles, the Lovers, okay, and the 8 of Wands. We also have Attraction, Mars, and Hot, okay? And, you know, maybe that's the thing, is that your relationships tend to start really fast. Like the 8 of Wands is a very fast moving energy. It's the Lord of Swiftness. It represents Mercury and Sagittarius. And, you know, that's a very upbeat, fast, electric, let's go type of energy. And the Lovers talks about mating, bonding, like, oh my God, we have so many things in common. Oh my God, let's plan all these trips together. Oh my God, let's da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Let's bond. But sometimes that can come out of, you know, insecurity with the 5 of Pentacles, because we're feeling kind of insecure, feeling like, oh, this person doesn't really like me, or they're not really into me, even though this person is saying that you're hot as hell. Pile number 2. There could be sometimes people like bond really quickly, or get with someone really, really quickly and start going real deep with someone really, really quickly out of a sense of insecurity. We have the 11th house and the Edge, friendship, okay? And the Lovers is definitely, you know, friendship, group, creativity, community, humanity, hope, tribe, festivals, discoveries, common goals, startups, rebellion, experimentation, and the future. Okay, so the 11th house is also where, you know, we find our friends, we find our community, we find things in common with people, we find discoveries and common goals with someone, okay? And it's like I'm attracted, and maybe it's like there's this instant burning attraction, but it's like, is it more than, would we be more than friends, or just people who have the same friends or hang around the same group? Or we have reunion here, okay? We have a third party situation. Okay. Well, that is where, you know, that's where a lot of this is coming from, you know, is the third party situation, and somebody getting back together, reunion, third party, someone getting back together with an ex. okay? And perhaps, you know, there was this big attraction or there was this big thing, but you were worried that they were gonna get back with an ex. And so there was just this flurry of activity, okay? And maybe they were like, well, let's just be friends or whatever because they got back together with an ex. Somebody got back together with an ex. We have the gambler. Wow. Willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. And shadow attribute is relying on luck rather than hard work, okay? And somebody who's just like, fuck it, like it's not going well in this other relationship, okay? The Five of Pentacles and the Lovers, it's not going well in this other connection. I'm attracted to pile number 2, and you know, I see them as a friend. I see them as more than a friend. I see them as someone I want to get to know and experiment with and, you know, have a good time with and all of that. I'm attracted to pile number 2, so might as well fucking go for it, you know? So I feel like this person is a little impulsive, okay? Especially with the Mars, the attraction and the hotness here. They may not even be a little impulsive. They may be a lot impulsive. You know, there's a lot of impulsivity, and there's always that possibility in the background that somebody got back together with their ex, which really blows, you know. We've got the Sun, Pluto, okay? And, you know, there could be a little bit of selfishness, I feel, from this person, where if they're really attracted to something magnetically, it's about them in that moment and how they feel in that moment. They may even be a little bit self-destructive at times, okay? I feel bad in this relationship with this person. I feel like they're not paying attention to me. I feel like they don't like me. I feel like they're not interested in me. So fuck it, you know? And that's a little bit selfish and self-destructive, the way that this person acts sometimes, okay? And it may be immature as well. Pile number 2, we have lunar eclipse and change. Someone's feelings change in a fucking instant, okay? And I kind of feel like this is the type of person who moves on very quickly without saying anything, okay? And you're like, well, or they might tell the person with the 11th house, oh, you know, sorry, you know, I just think of you as a friend after pushing forward an agenda and telling you you're hot or telling you you're sexy. And this person may have a habit of sabotaging their relationships due to their own selfishness and need for attention, okay? And their feelings can sometimes really change a lot. And they may be the type to gamble with other people's feelings with this gambler and lunar eclipse here. And it's because they randomly just got back together with an ex, or they decided, fuck it, I don't like the way something's going, so I'm going to go over here and do this. And then they get back with an ex. It's just a lot of, you know, stuff here. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the Two of Wands, okay? That's interesting. That shows a progression of interest, talking, action, okay? Then we have the Seven of Swords. You know, all of a sudden something, what's actually going on here? What's actually the plan, Stan, okay? And then we got the Five of Wands, okay? And it ends in a fight, or it ends up in an argument, or somebody leaving or telling the other person, I'm fucking out of here, okay? Get the hell out, I'm out of here. And, you know, this person may have a history of unstable relationships based on what they want to do in that moment, okay? And I feel like you end up wondering, you know, where do I stand with you? And I feel like their ex is always threatening to leave them, or is always like, my bags are fucking packed and I'm out of here. And they're like, good, get the fuck out of here, you know? And then all of a sudden, they're back together and they're friendly. And it's like, well, where does this leave me? Okay. So I do feel like that, oh, and that's my laundry like buzzer going off in the background. That's like at the end of the game, right? When the buzzer goes and someone's shooting a free throw from half court and the buzzer sounds, you know. I don't know if you guys heard that, but like that's kind of what it reminded me of. But I do feel like that this person is very like charismatic. Ace of Wands, Two of Wands, very charismatic, very interested, very action oriented, very much, you know, wanting to move something forward. And then it's like all of a sudden the vibe changes and you're not quite sure where you stand with this person. And it may feel like sneaking around. It may feel like before things were out in the open, but now it's kind of like sneaking around, weird energy. Okay. And, you know, this person, the thing I don't like is they seem kind of careless with the way that they're handling themselves. Okay. And I don't know if you really need that, pile number 2. You know, something takes off quickly, but the foundation of it with the 5 of Pentacles is very shaky. And I do feel like this person, like they, you know, if their ex left him, they'd be like, good, I'm going to go find someone else then. You know, Ace of Wands, good. I'm going to go. And there may be a lot of power struggles with the Sun Pluto. This person doesn't like to be told what to do. They don't like being brought up like their selfishness. They don't like being told what to do in any way. I mean, most people don't, but if somebody tries to tell them what to do or tries to put them in their place, they may get very, you know, angry about that. And this is a person who, if you fight with them, they'll fight back. I feel like with the 5 of Wands, there's a lot of arguing, yelling, you know, attitude, a lot of nasty attitudes that, you know, and this person too, when they get mad, they may go off and try to hook up with someone else in order to seek revenge on a partner from their past. And, you know, they get something going. They're really good at getting something going here with the Ace of Wands and the 2 of Wands, but they're not that great at sustaining things. And the things that they start tend to burn out quickly. And they do have a tendency to gamble with other people's feelings. Now, I feel like this person is kind of like, you know, and maybe you guys are like, well, shit, should I ghost this person? 7 of Swords. Should I just, you know, should I just fucking ghost this person because I don't like this, Natalie? Or should I just move in a different direction here because I don't know if I'm really down with all of what you're saying here? I mean, sometimes it's not the worst decision to just walk away, you know, from something, or to not put all your eggs in one basket is something that I'm getting here for you, pile number 2, okay? Because I feel like if we build something on a shaky foundation, 5 of Pentacles, and we move really fast without thinking and are kind of gambling loose with our feelings, the person could easily, and I feel like there's an aspect to this person where they like things to be very energetic and high octane, and they like somebody who's going to challenge them, and they like somebody who's going to talk shit or talk back to them or fight with them even. You know, oh, you make me fucking miserable. Well, fuck you too. You know, all that stuff. There's the 5 of Wands, okay? And honestly, but here's what I feel. I feel that this person I don't really feel they have that big of a shame reflex, and I don't feel like they're necessarily a person to kind of quietly go away at all. I feel like you guys are saying, Natalie, is this karma? Because I ghosted somebody in the past and just left before they even woke up and snuck out and was like, bye, see ya. Is this my karma? No, pile number 2. I don't feel like this is your karma for that, okay? Anyway, you're fine, pile number 2. But I feel like this person is like, they kind of like that level of intensity with the Sun Pluto. They like intensity. They like spiciness. They like, that type of energy. And I don't necessarily feel like they're the type to ghost, because I feel like they're more in your face than that. Like, they will say, oh, and they're not really a person that, the Eight of Wands isn't really good at keeping secrets. The Eight of Wands is like in your face, blunt. It's represented by Mercury and Sagittarius. Has anyone ever known a Sag to really keep that great of a secret? You know what I mean? Like, they can be, Mercury's in detriment and Sagittarius, and Sages sometimes have, the common diarrhea of the mouth, as you will, even if this person isn't a Sagittarius, I think they change their mind a lot with the Lovers. I think they go back and forth. They make impulsive decisions. They build foundations that aren't necessarily secure. And then sometimes they go back to their ex, okay? Reunion, third party, they change their feelings, and then they're off to the races again. But I also feel like, because this person is so overt and doesn't really have much of a shame reflex, I don't feel like they're really much of a ghoster, but I don't feel that because they'll just say whatever they're up to. I don't know that they're really that careful, about what's going on or whatever. I feel like they kind of just have a tendency to say whatever, and I feel their ex is like that too. And they have that kind of a relationship. So, okay. But I do feel like this person may be very on and off, very impulsive, going back to an ex. And so whether you know the reason why they went back or not, and they're not actually ghosting, but they're just not stable, or they're just not that, like, they have a tendency to get carried away with things at times. And maybe you just want to be friends with this person and keep them at a friendship arm's length. Even if they say, oh, I'm attracted to you or whatever, maybe you just want to, fine, let them be attracted to you, but maybe you don't really want them to be that close to you in that way. Because I feel like this person is also like very like sexually like, yeah, whatever, and I don't really know if that's what you're, like, they're kind of down for anything. And then they kind of get in a desperate moment because they're not happy. So they're kind of down for anything. And yeah, anyway, I don't feel like they're going to just ghost and disappear. You may actually know why they disappear. Like, oh, I'm going, sorry, I only like you as a friend now. I'm going back to my ex or whatever. I feel like it's more overt with them. But I still don't really like them, pile number 2. I don't really like them for you. So that is my opinion on that, my loves. I hope that reading resonated and at least, brought you a sense of truth into your evening or morning whenever you're watching this. And let's go ahead with pile number 3. Okay. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the strawberry, and today's reading is called, Are They a Ghoster or Not? And maybe you're talking to someone or being friends or flirting or getting to know someone, and it's like, I want to know if they're a ghoster, because if they're just going to turn around and ghost me, I don't want to invest anything, okay? So let's go ahead and see for pile number 3. For pile number 3, Spirit, is this person a ghoster? Are they a ghoster? Would they be the type to ghost? Pile number 3. Would they be the type to just turn around and ghost? Pile number 3. They got a wild hair up their butt or something. Would they just ghost? We've got Mercury, okay, the Magician on the bottom of the deck there. All right, let's see. We have the Death card. All right, well, we've got the 4 of Swords. Quietly go away without saying anything. And the 9 of Swords. Uh-oh. Pile number 3, uh-oh, spaghetti-o, my friends. And you guys might be the only pile where I am saying that someone could have a ghosting proclivity here. We've got Sun, Strength, and Empowerment under the Death card. What isn't meant for me or what's not meant for me will never pass me by. And, you know, the thing is I feel like you guys can handle a ghosting. I mean, I feel like you guys are intelligent, witty, smart, clever, calm, cool, collected, the magician. You've got options, you've got your looks, your pretty face. And pile number 3, do not underestimate the importance of body language. Okay, does anyone know where that line comes from? That's from The Little Mermaid. But anyway, you guys are radiating as sun, strength, and empowerment. So even if somebody does ghost you, I feel like you're a person, you can pick yourself up from that. We've got Chiron and healing, growth, personal development, working through generational trauma, shame, sensitivity, forgiveness of self, divinity, cleansing, becoming soft again, and working through pain. Okay, and only through working through our pain and having a lot of strength and empowerment, by running away to hide from things, that's a huge sign that someone's a coward anyway. And I feel like you guys are anything but that, pile number 3. You're not a coward. You don't shy away from the painful things, and you really do care about your healing and your well-being. We have ex-lover. Perhaps some of you have been healing from an ex-lover, or you had an ex-lover that was all about the ghosting. And we have commitment and interesting. So healing from an ex-lover that you were hoping for a stronger commitment with. And maybe that person just left with really no reason, no rhyme, no reason, no anything. Okay. And perhaps some of you get very worried with the 9 of Swords about accidentally committing to somebody who is a ghoster, so I do get that. We have student here, humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. That's you guys, amazing energy. And that's the magician too. Shadow attributes, arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. Okay, and that's the 4 of Swords with the Death card, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. People who are still learning about themselves and learning how to exist in the world. Now, a lot of times people ghost because they struggle with anxiety, they struggle to face their issues, they struggle with people pleasing, so they don't want to let anyone down, and then they end up hurting everyone as a result. There's so many reasons why people do the way they do, and I feel like you guys are very turned on to those reasons and rationales, but it doesn't make it hurt any less when that happens. And I feel you guys are a student of life, and you're very aware of the psychological reasons why people may ghost. And it's not that you don't have compassion for that, but at the same time, it is time that some people grow up and kind of face their internal issues. All right. And we're all students of life. And I feel like you guys really recognize that, pile number 3, like you're very aware of that. But some people refuse to grow. They refuse to learn. They deal in the currency of avoidance, and they refuse to acknowledge, what is going on, and the unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. Okay, I know what needs to be done, but I can't do it. I can't step up to the plate and do it. This person is saying, yeah, I wanted to end things, but I was too scared and too worried, 4 of Swords, 9 of Swords, to do anything about it. Because the Death card is fundamentally about transformation and change and things moving from one state to the next state without knowing what the outcome is going to be. Okay. And some people avoid those conversations and those, thoughts like the plague, and they'd rather just disappear out of someone's life than actually explaining themselves, And so if some of you are coming here because you have been ghosted and you were in a commitment and they just fucking dipped out on you and they did ghost, and it's like, man, this is messed up, and you've been healing from that, good for you, pile number 3. And for those of you who are here talking about a new person, okay? If you've talked to this new person about ghosting and you've told them, hey, in the past, I ghosted people before too, and they tell you, hey, in the past, I did too for these reasons, okay? And you're very open about it and you talk in a very open way with one another about this, then I feel that there is, with this student card here, there is learning, there is hope, there is the ability to change. However, if you just met a new person and there's certain topics that are completely off limits, they don't want to discuss, and they got that personality that you could tell, they just have a way of shutting down completely and getting real quiet and really shutting down. And here's the thing with the magician here, pile number 3, if you just start asking them some questions, hey, what about this? What about that? And they avoid, they don't answer, they're not straightforward. You're just asking questions, but they feel like they're getting totally uncomfortable just with a simple question that's not even overreaching or anything. Then that may be an indication that, yeah, they're a person that ghosts, okay? And, but I'm also going to say, pile number 3, if you met someone and you guys have been talking about these issues and you've been open with these issues and you admitted, oh, I did in the past once, and they said, oh, yeah, I did too, then I am hopeful for this Chiron healing card. I am hopeful for this student card here and the fact that we can learn from our pain and we can grow from our pain, right? And so it depends on how open people are willing to discuss. And we've got Neptune, Pluto here. And, of course, Pluto is associated with transformation and change and growth. And Neptune can be where we think that we're changing and we're becoming this very spiritual, evolved being, but we're not, But it could also be where somebody, because I can see like the Buddha in the background and everything, it could also be where we are changing and we are becoming more spiritually evolved. Now, I feel like that's for you, pile number 3, because I feel very certain that through your experiences and through the pain that you've gone through, and people just disappearing out of your life and no explanation and all this stuff, that you've had a lot of inroads when it comes to, acceptance, when it comes to higher spiritual knowledge, when it comes to accepting change in life with a uplifted spiritual attitude instead of, going into fantasy denial. I feel like for those of you who are on the path of spirituality and change, namaste, pile number 3, blessings to you. You're doing a great job with that. Okay. And, the change spiritually that you've been going through, it's intense, it's leveling up, and it's making you more humble and having more devotion to learning and knowledge and all of that. And there's a humility behind that. And I feel you really do have compassion for people that don't have courage to change or courage to really look at themselves. But for you, you're going to need someone more than that has a deeper core to them, that can face these things with integrity. You're going to need somebody a little more advanced, okay, than somebody who kind of runs away and hides, is what I feel. We have Uranus and Genius here. Ooh, I love that. That's fantastic. And, calling all the weirdos, right? Pile number 3 when Uranus comes up, and a healthy bit of change and a healthy bit of doing things differently and having some really fantastic ideas about how to approach situations in a different way. you know. And the thing is that as human beings, we all approach life in a different way. We all have our unique mindsets. And, you know, I think with Uranus and Genius here, I think this is more for you though, in the fact that you have the ability to change the way you think and the way you act and the way you do things in life. I feel like that's more for you. And for those of you who are coming from a past where there was a lot of ghosting, I feel like there is going to be a new way of thinking or a new way of looking at situations with this Uranus energy here. But Uranus is also very sudden and unexpected. So sometimes that we have to roll with the punches sometimes in life, right? Because life can be very sudden and unexpected. Like we think something is ending, but it's not. Or we think something's dead in the water, but it's not. And we were just worrying over nothing. Or we think that, you know, something is going along perfectly and it's not, okay? And Uranus is often associated with, like it's the planet of midlife crisis. It's the planet of divorce, okay? Uranus is definitely a divorce planet, indicating a divorce or a change in relationship, especially transits of Uranus through the 7th house in astrology. Like definitely it is the divorce planet, and where we can have sudden, shocking, unexpected changes that come out of nowhere that we have to deal with, you know? And, you know, the thing is even if this person does ghost you, okay, I feel like you guys have all the tools and everything that you need to get through that, because you've already gone through that in the past and you know what's up, okay? We have the Hierophant, but it's reversed, okay? Problems with commitment. We have the Page of Cups. Someone else's issues with commitment and showing up fully in relationships are not really your business. And it's really better to focus on, you know, your growth and your evolving as a person, okay? And, you know, the Page of Cups is very fluidity. And the one thing I would say about the Hierophant is the Hierophant is not that fluid. It's not necessarily adaptable and fluid and all of that, okay? And I feel like you guys are embracing life's changes. You're understanding to be adaptable and to move with the ocean and to move with the waters of life and to move with the ups and downs of life is better than hanging on to something in a really fixed manner. All right. And, you know, the thing is sometimes when people don't want to commit or they don't want to show up fully, you may really go internal with that, pile number 3, and really start to question yourself, or maybe in the past felt not that great about yourself. And that's understandable. Okay. But also I feel some of you could be taking that pain or that struggle that you felt and turning it into art, turning it into beauty, inspiration, creation, okay? Writing, poetry, all of that. Pile number 3. Oh, we've got the Devil card here. All right. So we do our best. You know what? It's better to be on our own and floating through the tides of life than to be stuck in a toxic relationship with somebody who is cheating, lying, betrayal, someone who doesn't want to be with us, somebody who doesn't value us. And I feel like that's where you guys are actually at. It's like, if I'd rather stay focused on myself and my own healing and my own emotions. There is something very innocent right now, I feel, about you, pile number 3, with where you are with your healing. And it doesn't really need to be disrupted by the confusion of other situations or other people's toxic behavior or the temptations that would tempt you away from your inner healing journey, okay? And, you know, it's like, I'd rather just focus on myself and flow with the tides of life and be with nature and be with myself than deal with people who are not willing to commit, who have no sense of stability in their life, and who are very toxic, frankly, for me, and represent a huge temptation away from the stability I'm trying to build in my life. Okay. So I am getting something about that. And, perhaps it is time to focus on your own stability in your life and not worry so much about, what XYZ person 123 is doing. Okay. And that may be where the better use of your energy is right now. And maybe some of you had a habit of dumping, all your emotions into toxic situations. And then you would kind of ignore your own need for stability, comfort, building a life of your own, all of that. Okay. And you're working on that. You're right. We're all students of life. We're all working on that. All right. And, let other people have their broken down relationships where everybody's lying and cheating and bringing out the worst in each other and just feeding on each other's insecurities. Let other people, you know what I mean? Pile number 3, like let other people have that shit because you don't need it, right? You're focused on, your innocence, your healing, your growth, your art, your beauty, everything that you're focused on for you that has, and some people are continually ignoring the lessons that pop up in their face that are teaching them what's important to them, and instead just going right for the thing that's super, super toxic, And I do feel like, you guys are realizing this, and you're realizing where maybe in the past you ignored the lesson, or you didn't, see where things were headed. You ignored the lesson, or you didn't see what you needed to see. But I feel like now you do, okay? Now you get it. You do understand it. We have the King of Swords and the Devil. Somebody who really lies a lot and who will tell any fucking lie to save their own ass, okay? And the thing is that you're very intuitive with this Page of Cups. And there is somebody who you've had in your life who would literally say anything to get you back. But them coming back into your life represents a very destabilizing force. And, this person is highly, highly toxic, and they are a liar, and they will say anything to make themselves look good and to get you on their side, but they're not good, So, yeah, I do think for those of you where, especially if this is an ex-lover coming through here, no bueno, no good. And some of you may be wondering, has this person healed yet? No, they haven't. They are still pretty fucked in the head. Pile number 3, to be blatantly honest, okay? The thing is that you're changing and you're growing spiritually and emotionally. And there's also a time here for you to work on like your stability in life, whether that's around your home, where you live, your money, where you want to be in the future. Focusing on the plan for you is where the emotional energy needs to be right now. And I would say if there is some ex-lover coming back, talking about commitment, talking about this or that or whatever, I do feel that this person is a ghoster, and I do think they'll do it again, pile number 3, okay? And you're the only pile that I affirmed for sure. We got a ghoster. I think we got a ghoster in your pile number 3. So I am going to leave it there, my lovelies. I hope that reading, I don't know if it's great that it resonated for you, but I hope at least it brought some truth into your world on this evening or morning, whenever you're watching this, and I wish you all the best. Take care.